In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to create and edit forms in the Gravity Forms plugin on WordPress. So over here on the left-hand side of our dashboard, you can see Forms. Let's click the top option. Here you can see a list of the current forms that we have. You can edit the actual fields by clicking here. You can change any of the settings or the notifications through here, or view the current entries by clicking this field here. Let's start by making a new form and looking at some of the available fields we have. Alright, so you can see that there are some instructions here on the left hand side. These might be good before starting your first form to read through some of these options, but let's just jump in this video. So you can see the standard fields over here on the right hand side. We have single line text, which is just an open text entry, drop down where we can create some pre-made fields for a user to select, a multi-select, so if they have to pick more than one option, and so instead of a drop down you would use a multi-select. Number is going to constrict the entries to just numeric characters, checkboxes, etc. So there's a lot of different options here that make it very flexible form building. You can see the second one is advanced fields. These are basically just pre-made fields, name, date, time, phone. But one unique advantage they do have is, let's say for email, for example, there are some advanced features where if I bring this email field over and then click the down arrow to see more options, if we select maybe like enable email confirmation, we wouldn't be able to do that through a standard field. So this makes the person enter their email twice just to make sure they typed it in correctly. A standard option that we have with all of these fields is making them required or not required and duplicates. I don't really ever use the duplicates option, but required is frequently used. The second tab is appearance, and all of these fields have that appearance option where you can type in a placeholder. So you could do like sample@gmail.com to show the user what information you would like for them to put there. The field label is this email here at the top, so you can make it top aligned, or you could hide it so you don't have to. So if you did that, you might do something like enter email here or something like that to show the user what information they're supposed to enter. You can also change if you have a description, so like enter your school address. You can do that to give the user some more information about what kind of about what they need to put in, and then you can change where that information goes. Same thing here. Alright, you can change the size of the field here. If you wanted to make it larger, you can do that. This admin field label is just showing maybe on the back end, like if you wanted to give this for somebody that's logged in and they're looking at the entries, what it might be. You would put like school email. So the user won't see it on the front end, but when you're looking at the entries later, the administrator would be able to see it. You can also enter default values. So let's say a popular one might be the city or the state in the address field. People, at a certain community are most likely always going to be from Charlottesville or Harrisonburg as their address. You could enter that information here so the user doesn't have to type it in. It'll just automatically pre-populate the field. Alright, so those are some of the options that we have. Alright, so let's try making a quick just contact form. So some information that we might want to have is obviously the person's name who's submitting the form. So let's select some of these options. We don't need their middle last name, but we do want this, or suffix, we do want this to be required. The appearance is okay. One other thing you can do is this custom CSS classes. You can Google this. There are quite a few. But let's say I wanted the form to take up a half a column. You could do GF left half, and that would the next form entry you have, you do GF right half, and that would split the column into two equal portions of the div that it resides in. There's quite a few. You could do GF left third. You can just do Google Gravity Forms custom CSS classes to see more of those, though. Alright, so we've got their name. We're going to need their email to be able to contact them. And then let's also just put in a paragraph text here. And it's untitled currently, so let's give it a name. If this was for like maintenance, we would say, what issues are you having? And then maybe in the description we would put that kind of thing. Alright, and then we could click update form to have it published. Then we can click preview if we want to take a look at it. Alright, then to actually put it in a page, let's open that up. And I'm just going to do it in a sample here, not actually publish it. So we can click the plus button and then search for Gravity. And then we would just select our sample. And then let's hit preview, just take a quick look at it. So there you can see it's right here. Alright, then the last thing that we need to do now that we've got our form is, let's look at form settings. Here's where we can change some more layout stuff, what we want the button to look like, if we wanted to give them the option to save for later. Some things like maybe a parking lottery or some kind of sign up, you might want to limit the number of entries. Like if there's only 50 parking spaces, you could put limit to the first 50 people. You can also schedule a form to be available only during certain times. So if, like in the parking lottery example again, the lottery doesn't open until 5 a.m. on a certain date, you could put that. And then requiring users to be logged in. All that's pretty simple. Confirmation is going to be where we send a user after they complete the form. So by default, it just goes to a page that says thanks for contacting us. We could change that to return to the home page or redirect them to a custom URL. Most of the time, I like to give a confirmation just so people know that their form was submitted successfully. So thanks for contacting us, we received your entry, etc., etc. But this is a fully customizable, what you see is what you get editor. You can put whatever you want in there. Then the last thing is a notification. So this is going to be how the administrator knows that a new form has been submitted. So we can name this like property manager notification. And then we'll say who do we want to email it to. So, I can put my email in there. And then you would say, from the sample form or sample website form, you can put the name in there. From the email, and then the reply to, you could put, if it's for the sample form, you could put that email in there so when somebody hits reply to, it will go to that email. And this drop down, you can do that for any of them. So new submission from, that'll put the form title in there, so new submission from the sample, and then you could put the person's first name and last name in there too if you wanted to. And then this paragraph will include all the fields, so they'll see the entry there. So that's a quick overview. A lot of times the easiest thing to do is to just make a duplicate, especially in the case of adding like a new personnel. You can just do duplicate, and then you would change obviously just the name and who receives the notification to be that property manager or leasing person. And the last thing I want to show you is on the left hand side, just the other options. You can see the entries, the most recent entries here. You could filter by the form fields. You could do, or by what form it is. You can also do bulk exports, so you can export the entries. So let's say somebody wants to know all the maintenance requests that were submitted. They need to see those. You can pick what fields are, and then the start and end date, and it'll spit it out as a CSV for download. All right, I think that's all. If you have any questions, please let me know.